Spence is gonna have an easy night with Manny Pacquiao. He's gonna retire the legend Manny Pacquiao, and you know that may not just be the case with us. That's why you just gotta sit here, grab your popcorn, beer, your weed, whatever you need to relax and chill and listen to this content. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off first, man. When it comes down to this Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence fight. Um, See, my only problem with Pacquiao is he's not only fighting father time, right? He's fighting in activity. Now let's really break that down to a T, okay? Father time. I'm gonna give Manny Pacquiao pass on father time, even though you can age overnight, especially in boxing. Like I always tell y'all, boxing years is like dog years, y'all. So I say that to say this: Manny Pacquiao, he's looking incredibly fast on the mitts and stuff like that. The speed is definitely still there, but is speed still gonna be there by fight night? I would say probably yes, but it's a probable no. We have to take that into consideration. Um, Another thing is the conditioning of Manny Pacquiao. Like, can he keep up that speed for 12 rounds? The only way Errol Spence could lose to Manny Pacquiao is if Manny Pacquiao is able to throw punches and bunches for 12 rounds. Because I don't see Manny Pacquiao knocking out Errol Spence. Maybe, probably, he can knock down Errol Spence, but I don't feel like it's going to be a hurtful knockdown. It's going to be a knockdown like, oh shit, that speed, that sometimes you'll just get knocked down from that speed alone. So, but I don't feel like he's going to hurt Errol Spence. I feel like Errol Spence been there with a lot of punchers, Kell Brook got cracked. Even Mike Garcia little ass got cracked. Sean Porter got a little power. Errol Spence fought some punchers. And not only that, Errol Spence been in sparring with all type of punchers, and you don't really hear knockout stories on Errol Spence. You don't hear the Teofimo Lopez getting knocked out twice type of stories when they come down to Errol Spence. So I feel like in the chin department, Errol Spence is fine, but the speed department of Manny Pacquiao maybe was troubling to Errol Spence because I don't feel like Errol Spence has faced, especially if Manny Pacquiao comes in with the same speed of the Thurman fight. I don't feel like Errol Spence seen that speed. Manny Pacquiao still extremely fast, and it's kind of shocking that you could be that fast at the age of 42. Like Manny Pacquiao is 42, and he probably could still beat me and you in a race. That's crazy. But the fact that Manny Pacquiao is he is aging. I feel like he might just have a couple fights left in the tank, especially if he gets in that hard training camp and take training camp seriously, like I think he is for Errol Spence, because I believe Manny Pacquiao, he wants to unify, and just imagine if Manny Pacquiao, we were talking about that better than Floyd Mayweather talk earlier. Just imagine if Manny Pacquiao could go undisputed at his age. I think he's gonna surpass shit like that. But we're gonna get to that later. But Manny Pacquiao just have so many answers for me before I could actually pick him to win this fight. Another thing is too, I feel like they still want to make politics and bullshit might just favor Errol Spence this fight because they still want to make the Canelo Errol Spence. They still want to make not the Mikey. They still want to make Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. There's still a lot of big names that Errol Spence could face. Shit, even Errol Spence could even face Manny Pacquiao in a rematch if Manny Pacquiao does good or don't make the fight close. So I feel like politics and PBC, Al Heyman, he knows that. I feel like Manny Pacquiao, we just taking a check that he probably couldn't refuse in this fight. But Errol Spence, I just don't know. This might sound crazy, y'all, but if you really listen to what I'm saying, it makes sense. Manny Pacquiao, he has people that likes to get on their feet and box and throw counters and shit like that. Errol Spence, I feel like Errol Spence is gonna pressed to fight on Manny Pacquiao. So Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence is going to be there to be hit. Um, I don't feel like Errol Spence is going to be trying to go downstairs with Manny Pacquiao. This could be ugly for Manny Pacquiao, y'all. But see, Manny Pacquiao have problems with counter punchers. Although I feel Errol Spence can counter punch, I don't feel like he's mainly known as a counter puncher. And if this fight comes down to the battle of the exchanges, I can see Manny Pacquiao winning the battle of the exchanges because you know the crowd can go crazy off everything Manny throws, and that can entice the judges. Um, and like I said, Manny Pacquiao, his style is very friendly, just as well as Errol Spence. But I just feel like that speed of Pacquiao, and him being a legend and all that stuff. Um, I'm gonna go Errol Spence in this fight, mainly because the inactivity of Manny Pacquiao and the age of Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao, like if he fought Errol Spence right after that Keith Thurman fight, my prediction may be different. But I don't feel like you just take two. You don't take 2 years off and then come fight an active Errol Spence who just beat the brakes off Danny Garcia. It seems like just yesterday. You don't do that. See, a lot of people like to compare the Sugar Ray Leonard to the Marvin Hagler fight to these type of fights. When you come, Sugar Ray Leonard was inactive, he came back to beat Marvin Hagler. Yeah, that's true. But what a lot of people don't like to say is Marvin Hagler was also inactive. Still a good win for Sugar Ray Leonard, not taking no credit away from Sugar Ray Leonard. But he was going against an inactive Marvin Hagler. And the same thing is not happening here. Pacquiao is going against a very active Errol Spence. Errol Spence, everything that Manny Pacquiao doesn't have that I just named, which is the inactivity, the age factor, the prime, all that shit. Errol Spence has it. He's in his prime. He's undefeated. He only know how to lose. He's very active. He's a south. Now, that's another thing too. A southpaw going against a southpaw. I want to see how Errol Spence reacts against that. That's one weapon that Pacquiao could bring to his wing. I said wing. That's one thing that Pacquiao could bring to his ring that could probably trouble Errol Spence. But I feel like ultimately, Errol Spence is going to take it. Will it surprise me if it was an upset? No. But Manny Pacquiao will have to seriously rewind that clock. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man, that was a great analysis.
Okay.
Yeah, man. First of all, I want to say this, man. I really didn't think Pacquiao actually beat Thurman.
That's another video. Me and you, we got to make a separate video on that. Cause
yeah.
We got to do that one.
I'm talking about point for point. I don't think he beat Thurman. But, I was thinking, if Pacquiao, I think this is a guarantee. If Pacquiao beats Spence, some crazy upset, I think 100% it would force Mayweather to come out of retirement. 100%. I said it. Right. If Pacquiao beats Spence, I think Mayweather 100% comes out of retirement. And, I think because the shame on Mayweather would be too much. I think Mayweather might get, a little jealous of the spotlight because Pacquiao, I've heard some people considering, like I said, we were talking about off air, Showbiz the Dope, would consider Pacquiao the greatest of all time if he beats Spence. I know people, like I said, other people considering Pacquiao the greatest of all time if he beats Spence. The amount of...
Not the greatest of all time. Not hell no. Like maybe a Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Then we talking, but not just the Errol Spence. No.
Right, but let's say if he beats Errol Spence, the amount of hype, the news flash, it would take everything off of Mayweather, and then Pacquiao would probably be the new, generational fighter. That might force Mayweather out of the retirement and to fight Pacquiao again, or to fight somebody else again, or to fight, a young guy again. Because, Mayweather might not be able to handle that spotlight off of him. Another thing.
I don't think Mayweather will fight Pacquiao again.
Oh, no, maybe not, but I think that whole Errol Spence fight, if he beats Errol Spence, it changes the whole thing up. for Mayweather.
He, yeah, but break it down though. What's your thoughts on it though? I want to hear your thoughts.
Oh no, I think well, you see, here's the thing: these type of fights, I think Errol Spence will beat Pacquiao, of course. Um,
Stoppage, decision.
I wouldn't be surprised if a stoppage, but I don't think it's going to be as hard as people think it is. Um, because for the simple fact is Spence's size. He said Spence is 5'10", 5 inches taller than Pacquiao, bigger, stronger. And one thing about Spence is he controls the ring. Every time he fights, you know about Spence, he controls that ring. He dictates the pace of the fight. Pacquiao, he does that angle stuff where he kind of feints and looking for angles. But Pacquiao is a passive fighter. Is tailor made for Pacquiao. Just a passive defensive fighter is tailor made for Pacquiao, aka Mayweather. Mayweather was tailor made for Pacquiao, but then he wasn't because Mayweather is more of a slick fighter too. But a passive defensive fighter, like I'm trying to think of one on the top of my head, but those type of fighters are tailor made for Pacquiao. But you know, Errol Spence is not like that. Errol Spence is he's technically sound. Number one, he's youthful. He's what is he? I think is he even 30 yet? Man, he's young, and
Yeah.
he's young. He's big. He basically does everything good. He really doesn't have a major flaw in his game. He might have to enhance some of his categories. Talking about in fighting, fighting categories, but he really does everything solid. Solid defense. He solid head movement. Great ring general ship. And he knows how to impose his will on opponents. So I think what Errol Spence does is kind of similar to Mayweather versus Tension. Nasukawa, that exhibition where Mayweather just walked him down. I think Errol Spence just walks him down. Body shots, hooks. And I think Errol Spence just breaks Manny Pacquiao down because, like I said, Manny Pacquiao has lost a step in terms of his defense. If you go back to that Keith Thurman fight in the middle rounds, I'm talking about because crowds and everything and announcers can it be deceiving. I'm talking about the middle rounds. You watch. Keith Thurman was landing bombs on Errol Spence. On Pacquiao. Keith Thurman was really landing on Pacquiao, and Errol
He was.
Spence. And
He sure the hell was.
yeah, I'm surprised Pacquiao was taking him like that. I don't know if it might not be the same thing for Errol Spence. Like I said, Errol Spence has size, youth, and he does everything. He's solid. He's a great defense. Great being generalship, great body work. I think he might just bully Pacquiao. Um, because I really don't, you know, I really don't see because like I said, Errol Spence is not that type of. He's not like that type of defensive fighter and everything. Errol Spence is gonna go at you, and I think he will take the fight to Pacquiao. Pacquiao being 42, I don't think he can handle that. So I think I have Errol Spence. Maybe by I wouldn't be surprised if Errol Spence drops Pacquiao, but maybe I say Errol Spence by decision.
I can see a stoppage or decision um, by Errol Spence winning, but I feel like the only way Pacquiao really wins this fight, he has to have that. He might be old, but he has to have that young conditioning, man. If Pacquiao has the same conditioning, he could win this fight. But I don't know if at this age is he able to be able to keep up with the same activity of Errol Spence. It's kind of the same thing with everything Lara. I was saying before that fight happened with Lara and Hurd, I was telling myself, I feel that Lara can beat Hurd with his style, good accuracy, um, moving his feet, moving out the way of punches and stuff like that. But the only problem with that fight is Lara at that age, is he gonna be able to keep up that activity in the lateral parts of that fight? And I'm having that same, you know, um, thought. I'm having those same thoughts, but fight with Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, can Manny Pacquiao keep up that activity, foot speed and hand speed all rounds, man? We gonna have to wait and see.
Right, and I'm gonna point some out too. I don't think Pacquiao could beat Errol Spence in his prime.
Well, I can see why you say that. I think Pacquiao. I can see Pacquiao losing to Errol Spence in his prime. Errol Spence. We have to understand, man. Pacquiao really. Yeah, he can make the weight of 147, but Pacquiao's really like a 135, 140 pounder. He's a little guy, height, size, and weight size. So yeah, I can see that too. But I can also see the other way around too, man. Manny Pacquiao was throwing 100 punches around, and you know, just flatlining bigger guys. You understand? The dude stopped Miguel Cotto, man. A dude that's a lot bigger than him. Um, we stopped Margarito, a dude that was a lot bigger than him. Manny Pacquiao was a hard fighter to beat, and still is to this day. But I could see that. I just feel like, man, Errol Spence is too big for Pacquiao, man. Man, Errol Spence can make 160 to fight Canelo. Because
Yeah.
if they fight, Canelo ain't gonna come to 154. He's gonna come to 160 if they're gonna fight. So if a guy can make 160, they're too big for Manny Pacquiao, man. So I can see why you see that as well too.
Like I said, and the power too. That plays into it. So I mean, I think this is a dangerous fight for Pacquiao, but Pacquiao, he may be even padding his legacy right now. Um, I don't know how he expects to win this fight, but he might just be doing it for the legacy more than anything.
Well, if Pacquiao, if he's able to rewind the clock, I could see him outworking Spence. I ain't gonna lie. Talk about landing the more shots and activity. And
Well,
then
go ahead.
I feel like Errol Spence. He said he respected Sean Porter power. He felt his power. So if he felt his power, he gonna definitely feel Manny Pacquiao power. Manny Pacquiao hits harder than Sean Porter, and we can see that. And Keith with the Keith Thurman fight. Keith Thurman was never really hurt like that by Manny Pacquiao. You see what Manny Pacquiao did to Keith Thurman, dropped him twice, and one time I thought he had him severely hurt. If he would have stepped on the gas a little more, maybe he'd have had the gas to do it. I would stop Keith Thurman.
Right, but I think if the keys to victory, maybe I think what's key for Pacquiao is I really don't see how Pacquiao can win this fight. To be honest with you, I really have no path to victory for this fight, for him. Errol Spence can really just do whatever. He can either push the pace on him and kind of just try to fight him aggressively and bully him. He could also just stand in the middle ring and use that reach advantage. It's so many because he's a good boxer. It's so many ways.
You can't just stand in the middle of the ring and expect Pacquiao because Pacquiao good with that in and out.
Oh, he will make you move, but I'm saying he could just try to fight an outside fight. But like I said, Pacquiao probably can that whole in and out type thing might backfire because what if he catches a shot? He might not get up from that.
But see, I don't. We gotta understand this too. Errol Spence. When the last time Errol Spence flattened a guy though? I love Errol Spence. I'm a big fan of Errol Spence. But I never thought Errol Spence had that one hit type of power. Errol Spence is more like a break you down type. He has power, of course, but he break you down type of puncher. Not really like a get you up out of there puncher because I feel like Manny Pacquiao, he been stopped before, but he's been stopped by guys that could, if they catch you flush, they put you the fuck out. And I really don't even count that Margarito. He got knocked out cold by Marquez, but you talk about a dude that fought him 4 times. He basically studied Pacquiao to the T. So I don't feel like Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people not stressing the fact that Sean Porter hasn't really just been. I mean, Errol Spence, the last stoppage he had that was a real stoppage was a Campo fight. You know.
Yeah.
And I understand it happens when you step up in competition.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, but even still, Manny Pacquiao might get caught. You know, but like I said, that's why Errol Spence is not. Manny Pacquiao is not a good match for Errol Spence, or Errol Spence isn't really a good match for Manny Pacquiao. Is what I should say, because Errol Spence commands the fight. Like he takes up all the space. He walks his opponents down. Whenever look to all his fights, Mikey Garcia, all his fights, he never lets the opponent dictate what they want to do. He always pushes the pace and controls the pace of the fight. He might just, like I said, he probably just gonna bully Pacquiao, man.
I thought so you think he's always in control of the fight? That's what you're saying.
Well, I would say mostly it depends, but especially against smaller guys. Yeah, against smaller guys.
Yeah. But see, even though maybe Pacquiao's smaller, I don't think that plays much of a factor to Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao used to fight people bigger than Errol Spence. I mean, Errol Spence is 5'9", I think, right?
Well, yeah. Sometimes they measure him as 5'10", sometimes 5'9".
You gotta say Pacquiao. Pacquiao. He's used to fighting bigger guys. Oscar's 5'9", Margarito's 5'11", I think. It's not. I don't think the size factor gonna really put too much fear in Pacquiao.
But it's still there though. That's the thing. So
it's most definitely still there, but I don't feel like now. I feel like if Errol Spence had the height and he was a big time mover like an Arizona Lara type of fighter, then yeah maybe. But Errol Spence is a guy. He's gonna minimize his height just a little bit because he's gonna come to Pacquiao. He's gonna fight. He's gonna be there to be hit.
But Pacquiao isn't really a good back foot defender though, because have you ever seen?
He's actually a pretty bad defender.
Right, especially on the back foot. That Mayweather fight, there's a point in that Mayweather fight where Mayweather came for it. I think it was the 7th round. You can tell Pacquiao actually liked it, when he came forward. But Mayweather came forward and actually chased Pacquiao. He had he landed all his punches too. It was like a 1-2, and he threw a left hook after that. That was one of the most, I guess, sad, but it's one of the most exciting parts of the fight. Pacquiao got hit on every one of them. Pacquiao's not a good back foot defender at all. So if Errol Spence applies that pressure and puts him on the back foot.
But see, the thing about Pacquiao, though, he's not a good defender, but what makes Pacquiao, and I know I just said his defense was actually pretty bad, but I think he has okay defense because Pacquiao, that foot movement, man, in and out.
No, I'm saying in the middle of the ring, he doesn't have bad defense because, that in and out stuff, he's so quick that he just dodging them all. But I'm just saying when the fight's being pushed to him though, like when he's getting attacked, like kind of trying to get somebody trying to bully him. I don't know.
Pacquiao likes what you try to bully him. You see what Margarito happened to him, right?
He likes it, but I'm saying that Mayweather fight, man. He Mayweather did that, and Pacquiao ate them all.
Yeah, but see, Pacquiao, even though I believe this is BS though, but Pacquiao claimed he had a shoulder injury that fight, man.
He didn't.
So he
didn't have no shoulder injury.
But I don't think he had an injury. But we can't say it's not like it was impossible for him to have a shoulder injury.
I think it was just good excuses, bro. During the fight, I ain't see no signs. I ain't see nobody massaging his shoulder. Nobody trying to get medicine or kind of checking on his shoulder. He was throwing overhand rights and everything. Then when you lose the fight, shoulder injury. Canelo. Yeah. I was green. Like it's the same excuses, man.
It does. But yeah, we've done this about 24 minutes. I'm gonna